New discoveries in Africa that change everything. The African continent is famous for its characteristics, from its deserts to its tropical forests and distinctive temperature. It is also recognized that longer than any other continent in the globe, it has hosted humanity and animals in its territory. Many continents are home to mysterious life, but the second largest continent, Africa, surpasses most of them with unbelievable discoveries of all kinds. There are new unexplainable discoveries being made in Africa every day. In this video, terrifying mysteries that scientists have found will be revealed. Stay with us to the end of this video and see for yourself the new discoveries in Africa that change everything we know or have heard. Before we continue, do want to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. First, we'll be looking at a discovered dinosaur in Zimbabwe. The oldest dinosaur species to have walked on the surface of the earth was discovered in the soils of the mother continent Africa, specifically in Zimbabwe. This found skeleton is thought to represent the oldest dinosaur species. Scientists have been working on this archaeological site since 2017. They discovered Ambliosaurus rathi, also known as M. rathi, 5 years after careful investigation. The dinosaur is a sauropodomorph, a close relative of the imposing long-necked sauropods like Brachiosaurus and Apatosaurus. The dinosaur fossil, one of the oldest ever discovered, is thought to be over 230 million years old. After studying the skeletons, researchers believe that Hemrathi lived during the late Jurassic period, some 252 million years ago, near the banks of an ancient river that subsequently gave rise to Zimbabwe. The Saurus was a large dinosaur, standing 6 feet long and 1.6 feet tall at the hip. This discovery demonstrated to scientists that despite being a huge dinosaur, the earliest dinosaurs were little. The Taung Child discovery in South Africa. This was the first fossil of Australopithecus africanus to be found. Paleoanthropologist Raymond Dard recognized the specimen as belonging to a primitive ancestor of humans from the distant past. When Raymond Dard found this unusual item, he gave it the name Australopithecus africanus, which is Latin, meaning southern ape of Africa. The skull and sides of the tongue specimen are cast naturally, and its face is oriented like a 3 or possibly 4-year-old child's. The supposed small child's brain, Taung Child, which is barely 1/3 the size of a modern person, is ape-sized, yet the skull, which was found and made public by miners in South Africa in 1924, appears to contain teeth that are human-like. After the investigation was finished, it was found that bipedalism was the first step in the evolution of humans. The adoption of walking on 2 legs, while the brain is still essentially ape-like, is known as bipedalism. Unfortunately, the Taung Child's discovery location was destroyed by miners before geologists and paleontologists could determine his precise age. However, next to the skull were terrified animal fragments that were formed about 2.8 million years ago. Since the Taung Child's discovery, more fossils have been found in South Africa's limestone caves. The most abundant source for these fossils was in Sterkfontein. Moreover, Fontaine is one of the places with the most thorough data on human evolution, dating up to 3 million years. The wonder of Namibia's fairy circles in the desert. Thousands of fairy rings surround the Namibian desert, but why is there such a noticeable pink and black pattern? Whether they are brought on by geological, celestial, environmental, or weather elements, people have spent a lot of time trying to understand why specific planetary phenomena occur. Many of these occurrences have been scientifically explained throughout time, despite differences of opinion among researchers, as in the case with Namibia's fairy circles, which are actually vegetation-covered bare soil patches that are numerous in the Namib Desert. To explain how the circle is formed, there are 2 widely accepted theories that have keen supporters. According to the theory, sand termites clearing vegetation from around their nest is what caused the circular patches. The alternate claim is made stating that plants competing for water may explain the pattern. Therefore, are they insects or plants? The claims made by each camp are fiercely defended, but research from a team of scientists that was published in the journal Nature suggests that both hypotheses are true and that the two mechanisms taken separately cannot explain the emergence of the cycles. Looking at another astonishing discovery in Tanzania is Lake Natron. Have you ever heard of a lake that has the power to turn you into stone? Tanzania is home to Lake Natron, a lake unlike you've ever seen, heard of, or possibly even imagined. A lake that occasionally turns red is definitely something you should know more about. Lake Natron, commonly known as Tanzania's stunning but hazardous red lake, contains lethal cyanobacteria. How come there are so many of them in the lake's water? Well, most species that consume this algae suffer cell, brain, and liver damage from the toxin it releases into the environment. Many of the birds and other creatures that drink from the lake's mirror-like surface are drawn to this. Birds are killed when they dive into it. Numerous of these preserved animals were staged in lifelike poses before being photographed by famous photographer Nick Brandt. Bats and birds that fall into the water calcify, becoming duplicates of themselves that are mummified. Natronic, which is what it is, got its name because it includes a lot of sodium carbonate. Lake Natron surrounding frequently has a bright red or orange appearance due to a type of algae or bacteria that flourishes in soda. Algae blooms frequently occur in lakes, causing the water to be green. Wind's pursuit of natron wax and the lake's redness has shifting colors. The lake's margin also frequently seems more orange than red. You may be asking if there's any life in this lake. Oh yes, there is. The lake is a haven for flamingos, whose thick skin guards them against burns. The lake is also a safe place for breeding because its toxicity keeps out predators, especially those that can survive near the lake's edges, like some fish and invertebrate species. You can visit the lake in either the dry or wet seasons if you need walking tours around it, but don't try to go swimming there. You must have absolutely no clue about the next discovery. Well, it is the discovery of the new human species. The enormous loopholes and unsolved mysteries in the history of humanity have long troubled scientists. A plethora of fossils discovered in a South African cave in 2013 raised the possibility of the discovery of a new species with a surprising fusion of Homo species traits. Hundreds of Homo naledi fossils, the largest discovery ever found on the African continent, opened up a world of exciting possibilities. The unexpected combination of modern and prehistoric traits in the fossils has cast doubt on our understanding of the origins and the variety of the human ancestry. Cave divers made the initial finding of Homo naledi fossils in a remote, almost inaccessible chamber of the Rising Star Cave system near Johannesburg. Additional fossils were found in the second chamber, known as Leseti, that displayed an extraordinary mix of human and non-human traits. In addition to having distinctly human traits, the little-brained species also feature ape-like shoulders and a pelvis. They were found to be roughly 335,000 years old, and their wrists, hands, and feet were astonishingly identical to those of modern people. The host also appeared to have an upright posture and a powerful long-distance stride, based on the neon anatomy. They would have been able to climb and hang from trees because of their finger form and shoulder position, which may have descended from a more ape-like predecessor. Many issues, including whether they were our most recent relatives rather than Homo erectus and how their names ended up in their final resting place, have been raised since the discovery of this new human species. The extremely rare discovery of Homo naledi has generated a contentious debate over human evolution and offered up a wide variety of theories regarding the origins of modern humans and Homo. Africa has amazing discoveries, more often than expected. Next is the discovery of the world's largest giant frog. The fact that Africa is home to the largest frog species in the world, the Goliath bullfrog, may not actually come as a surprise. The gigantic slippery frog is another name for the Goliath bullfrog. Conroe Goliath is the largest frog that is known to exist. The highest weight of this animal is 8 pounds, and its maximum length from snout to vent is 12.5 inches. The average house cat and even a newborn human are smaller and lighter than the Goliath bullfrog. Strangely, the vocal bag is absent from these huge bullfrogs, preventing them from emitting mating screams. This lovely, big and harmless creature is only found in Equatorial Guinea and Cameroon because they are choosy eaters. The Goliath frog are picky eaters and only eat a specific plant endemic to their own small geographic range, which is located close to waterfalls and also along the banks of rapid rivers, as a result, between Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea. Other food sources include insects, crustaceans, fish, and other amphibians. Bullfrogs, called Goliaths or Goliaths, have a lifespan of up to 15 years in the wild and up to 20 years in captivity. They don't live as long in the wild for a variety of reasons. The main cause is that they are being hunted for as food, followed by the destruction and loss of other predators' habitat. They are the prey of snakes and people. Zoos have exported it because of its fascinating size. Talking about the strange behavior of people and sometimes crocodiles, which are often regarded as disgusting animals that you don't want to mess with. Well, it is now common to find someone riding one of the sacred bazool crocodiles in a small community in Burkina Faso. About 30 kilometers through Gadougou from the capital, the scary reptiles who live among the people in Bazou have more than 100 of the razor-toothed creatures in their pond. According to legend, the people were brought to a hidden pond by crocodile-driven women during a severe drought so that they might quench their thirst. The reptiles, which are likewise buried and even given funerals if one of them passes away, is a representation of the soul of the village. Additionally, Burkinabés believe that if something bad is about to happen in the village, the crocodiles tell them before time with loud, unique cries that only the natives of that village can understand. The unique and miraculous relationship that exists between people and crocodiles has attracted numerous tourists from around the globe and brought in a sizable amount of income for the small village. We fear that these reptiles will once more guide their human friends to a new watery home, as the well-known pond that serves this species' habitat is shrinking as a result of global warming. Mysterious rainbow dunes found in Mauritius. The seven-colored earths, a rare geological phenomenon in Mauritius, demonstrates that there are other colors of dirt besides brown. These colorful dunes were formed by a rare convergence of volcanic activity that brought together a variety of different components, each with its own characteristic color. The dunes are surrounded by forest and are dispersed in 7 various colors: red, brown, violet, green, blue, purple, and yellow. Visitors come to Mauritius for its gorgeous sand dunes because of its vibrant colors, but experts are still baffled as to how they maintain their distinctive colors when united and avoid erosion in spite of the island's frequent and intense rains. Although it is forbidden for guests to climb the sand dunes, a wooden fence has been installed so that they can see the surroundings from the observation point adjacent. Chamaral's color of earth has multiplied the beauty of the island and risen to become one of Mauritius's top destinations for tourism. Still in Mauritius, the globe is astonished by Mauritius's remarkable discovery of an underwater waterfall. Though it is not a typical waterfall, it is an illusion that can only be viewed from above. Mauritius has a beachfront that slopes gradually before dropping abruptly 2.6 miles to the ocean floor because it is a young island raised above sea level by an ocean shelf. Due to the flow of sand and silt deposits along these slopes, the marine topography makes various colors of blue apparent. Sand and silt deposits rolling down the slope and dropping into the depths give the appearance of a waterfall. It seems as though the entire island is being dragged into a deep drain, or that sand and silt are pouring down a waterfall due to the manner in which they run off. It is challenging to capture this magnificent illusion from the shore, but if you look above, you may see what appears to be flowing. Thanks for watching. If you found this video educative, which I know you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to leave us a comment to let us know how you feel about the discoveries in this video.